Hey, and welcome to this edition of the SA Crypto Market Analysis with myself, James Preston.
And myself, Graham Tennant.
And this edition is proudly brought to you by Crypto Fest. It's happening on Saturday, the 7th of September at Shimmy Beach Club down at the V&A Waterfront, Cape Town. It's starting at 11 a.m., goes all the way through to 6 p.m., and then there's an after party with the Godfather's DJ outfits. That's going to be fun. And promises some awesome crypto battles, some debates between the likes of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. That's going to be interesting. Graham's in a debate with Bitcoin versus gold. Then there's a debate, what does Libra coin mean for the industry? So some serious battles happening. Simon Dingle speaking, Athena Yu speaking, and Farizam Asani of Valor speaking as well. And attendees get a free pair of crypto socks. So prices start at $350 if you are a student or academic, 450 Rand for startup members or if you run your own startup, and then normal price $550. Go to cryptofest.co.za and get your tickets now. We look forward to seeing you there. Now, Graham,
Awesome.
With all that being said, let's get into the chart.
Great. Let's have a look at the charts. So, as you guys probably know, we've had an awesome couple of days since our last chat or our last market update. So this is a view of the daily chart, and we can see consecutive green candles. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can count to 7. And so it's been a really strong move up. And now I am getting a little bit concerned. That looks like a shooting star candle, which could be an indication of some exhaustion in this latest up move that we've seen.
Right.
But on the whole, I think that the bear case that we were concerned about last week that we highlighted looks a lot less likely now that we've had such a strong rally off that support level. But so yeah, all in all, looking pretty good. I think that from here we should expect to see some kind of pullback, and it might be this shooting star candle might be the first sign of that. But all in all, I think we're still looking pretty bullish.
Now, you put in a trade, you actually shared it with us on the Telegram group, the SA Crypto Telegram group. Let's have a look at that and let us know how that's playing out for you personally as well.
Cool, so this was the trade setup, and this was the descending wedge that we highlighted last week, along with this area of support, which is this orange area. And also, I didn't mention in the video, but I mentioned it on this trade idea, was this Adam and Eve bottom. So that's a form of double bottom. We've got a V-shaped bottom and then a rounded bottom. So this is quite an impulsive, volatile move, the V-shaped bottom, and then we've got a more slow and intentional bottoming out pattern with the rounding bottom. Those together make up the Adam and Eve bottoming pattern. So on the basis of those two things, I decided to put the trade on. I had two entry levels. The one was at around about the 10,000 level, and then I was looking for a better entry if we fell a little bit after that point, and was looking for support at this at the top of the support area.
Right.
So this is how it played out. We never got the retracement back for that better potential entry at that level, which was around about the 9,700 level, but we did move very strongly from that point after putting that.
So you got your first entry
on. So I got my first entry. So I got half a position in, and we just moved up almost in a straight line from there. I've been looking for a retracement in order to get in on another trade or get the rest of my position in, but the market just hasn't given me that opportunity. So I've just had to be disciplined, watch it move upwards, which has been great. And we went through this first target at 11,000 with quite a bit of momentum. We did get a little bit of resistance at 11, but once we broke through there, we really went up with quite a lot of impulse. So, but at this point in time, so that is my bigger target, which was 13,100. I'm taking some profits off the table at the moment on the back of that shooting star, and we've got quite a significant sell candle here, this red candle. So I am expecting to have some kind of retracement, but it was all in all a good trade.
All right, well done, and good call. You were 60% bullish, and that 60% went in the trader's favor for the
Remember,
bulls.
60-40 is all you need.
Yeah.
You only need a better than a 50-50.
And if you manage
odds.
your risk well, then you're okay.
Exactly.
All right, so question of the day, or rather question of the week, we're going to our Telegram group for this one. Last week it was the mining group on WhatsApp. Now we're on our traders Telegram group. Comes from Gareth Jenkinson, and Gareth, of course, is actually a writer for Cointelegraph. And he asks this: how much influence has American rate cuts had in the surge of the Bitcoin and gold prices?
Great. So I think that's a great question, and it's something that I'm quite passionate about. Is looking at Bitcoin and gold in correlation, or in contrast at least, to what's happening in the interest rate and in the global economy in general, because that's part of the big reason that I like Bitcoin, I like gold and silver, is because that they operate outside of the current financial system, which I think is a lot of systemic problems. So this is a quick chart that I pulled together. You can see we've got the Bitcoin price here, the gold price, the S&P 500, as well as the 5-year yield. So that essentially is the type of interest rate or the type of return you can expect to get on your 5-year debt. So we can see here that since the rate cut, we've had this orange line, which is the interest, linked to the interest rate quite closely, has dropped significantly since that rate cut. Interestingly enough, the S&P has come off, which doesn't usually happen, which is really interesting. So this could be a real change in trend. Interest rates fall and stocks fall with it. I think that speaks to some real fear in the market potentially.
So normally, interest rate cut, you'd see a bit of a push in the market.
Stocks usually react positively to an interest rate cut, but the market could be seeing this differently. It's saying interest rate cut, that means the Fed is worried about the economy. The economy is not as strong as potentially
not looking healthy
as it possibly is. Therefore, we are now fearful of our stock performances, and we've seen a sell-off there, which is very significant. Gold has moved up. You can't see it that well in this chart, but 3% move in gold from around about where the cut was made is significant, and Bitcoin has obviously been a star performer. And it's going to be really interesting. I'm watching this very closely to see if Bitcoin is a true safe haven asset. Wouldn't that be ironic if Bitcoin, this volatile, speculative asset, could potentially be your safest place to be in a market crisis.
Well,
so that's fascinating stuff.
That's what a lot of the Bitcoin bulls believe it to be, and it so far looks like it's playing out that way. Bottom line, in response here, what I'm understanding from what you've said, Graham, is that actually the rate cut could very well have influenced people moving into Bitcoin.
I think that's a fair assumption. We've actually seen headlines coming out of Bloomberg saying these type of things. And look, the chart doesn't lie. Look, we have to take this with a pinch of salt. This is one particular episode that we've zoomed into. It only goes back a couple of days. But this is definitely a scenario that we need to watch closely going forward. All
right, well, there we go. Diplomatic as ever, a true financial analyst. And that's where we leave it. Graham, thank you very much.
Thanks, James.
We appreciate this week's edition of the Market Analysis with Graham Tennant. It was proudly brought to you by Crypto Fest. Check them out. Get your tickets Saturday the 7th of September, cryptofest.co.za. We'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.
Cheers for now.
SA Crypto is not a registered financial advisory, and the information provided in this market analysis is for informational purposes only. Each audience member is responsible for their own financial decisions, and SA Crypto cannot be held responsible for any decisions made by those within its audience. SA Crypto strongly encourages all audience members to consult a professional and registered financial advisor before making any financial decisions.